focuses on isolation, discipline, and quiet resilience. The story opens with her choosing to train when no one is watching, before sunrise and long after others have stopped. This is important because it immediately separates her from the rest. She is not motivated by praise, competition, or recognition. She trains because she believes readiness is the only form of safety. While others rely on instructors and teammates, she deliberately removes those comforts, forcing herself to solve problems alone. The environment around her reinforces this isolation. The training ground is empty, cold, and unforgiving, mirroring how she is treated by the system. Rumors circulate among recruits that she is antisocial or not elite material. Instructors overlook her because she does not demand attention or fail loudly. This misunderstanding is central to her silence is mistaken for weakness, when in reality it is controlled at her physical struggle bleeding hands. Exhausted muscles, repeated failures serves as proof of commitment rather than defeat. She does not quit when something breaks her down. She repeats it until it no longer can. This section also hints that her motivation comes from experience rather than ambition. She is preparing for a future where hesitation costs lives, not scores. Establishes the core theme of the story. True strength often develops away from recognition. By the end of this part, the audience understands that while she is ignored by everyone else, she is slowly becoming something far more dangerous than the recruits who train for applause. Introduces contrast and perspective. The focus shifts away from her internal struggle and moves toward the outside world that has failed to notice her. A SEAL commander arrives at the base to observe and evaluate the unit. His presence represents authority, experience, and the highest standard of elite warfare. He has seen countless recruits, patterns of confidence, and predictable displays of ambition. He expects noise, bravado, and competition. Instead, what catches his attention is silence. From a distance, he notices a single figure training alone, away from instructors and teams. At first, it appears insignificant, another recruit overworking herself. But something about the repetition stops him. She is not improvising or showing off. She is running advanced drills with exact consistency, correcting micro errors most trainees never notice. Her movements show muscle memory built through pain, not coaching. This forces the commander to slow down and watch longer than planned. As he continues observing, discomfort replaces curiosity. He realizes she is training for conditions far worse than this base provides. Her pace is deliberate, her recovery brutal, and her focus unbroken, even when exhausted. She doesn't scan for approval or react to being alone. That absence of external motivation is what alarms him. Elite operators are not defined by aggression, but by restraint and purpose. She shows both. This part subtly shifts the power balance. Until now, she has existed beneath notice. She becomes the only thing the commander sees. His silence mirrors hers, but with a crucial difference. He understands what he is witnessing. He recognizes discipline forged in isolation, the kind that cannot be taught, only earned. Builds tension without confrontation. Nothing is said, nothing is acknowledged, but everything changes. The audience senses that a line has been crossed, the moment when true ability is finally seen by someone capable of measuring it. Is the turning point of the story, where observation becomes action and quiet discipline is tested under pressure. The training exercise begins as a standard evaluation meant to expose weaknesses. Recruits move as instructed, relying on commands and formations they have practiced repeatedly. When the scenario escalates, hesitation spreads. Orders overlap, confidence fractures, and the carefully built structure starts to fail. This moment reveals the difference between training for approval and training for survival. She reacts without waiting. Her response is not dramatic or reckless, it is immediate and precise. Years of training alone have conditioned her to make decisions without validation. She adapts to the collapsing situation, stabilizes key points, and executes with calm efficiency. Her movements show no panic, only clarity. While others freeze, she flows through the chaos as if she has already lived this moment countless times. The SEAL commander's reaction is central to this part. He steps forward instinctively, no longer an observer, but a witness to undeniable competence. When she completes the maneuver, exhausted yet composed, he snaps to attention. This gesture is not formal or planned. It is reflexive respect and acknowledgement from one warrior to another. In that instant, the hierarchy silently reverses. She is no longer a recruit being evaluated. She is a standard being recognized. Emphasizes that true leadership is revealed under stress, not during preparation. Her decision to act alone was never about defiance. It was about responsibility. The exercise proves that she was never behind the others, she was training beyond them. This moment shifts the narrative from potential to proof, marking the exact point where discipline becomes undeniable. Authority slows the pace and replaces action with understanding. After the intensity of the exercise, she is finally pulled aside, not for discipline or praise, but for explanation. When she speaks, her words are direct and controlled, mirroring how she trains. She does not tell a dramatic story or seek sympathy. She explains choices. Training alone was never rebellion. It was necessity. She learned early that hesitation and dependence create gaps where lives are lost. Her past is revealed through implication rather than detail. Loss taught her restraint. Failure taught her repetition. Silence became her way of focusing energy instead of wasting it on approval. This section reframes everything the audience has seen so far. What others interpreted as isolation or weakness is revealed as deliberate preparation. She removed comfort because comfort dulls awareness. The SEAL commander listens without interruption. For the first time, authority shifts fully. He is no longer measuring her against standards. He is recognizing shared understanding. He sees that her mindset aligns with elite reality, where decisions are made alone and consequences are permanent, reinforces the theme that experience creates discipline, deeper than instruction. She did not train to be noticed. She trained to be ready. This quiet exchange solidifies mutual respect and confirms that her silence was never emptiness, it was control. Delivers a quiet resolution that reinforces the story's central message. True excellence does not require noise. There is no ceremony, no public speech, and no dramatic announcement. Instead, recognition comes in the form most meaningful to professionals, a decision. The SEAL commander makes a deliberate adjustment behind closed doors, reassigning her to a path that matches her capability rather than her rank. This subtle action confirms that her worth does not need validation from a crowd. The reaction of the unit is equally important. Others notice the shift not because she changes, but because authority responds to her differently. The commander's posture, his tone, and his respect signal what words never could. Without explanation, she becomes the measure others are compared against. This silent acknowledgement reshapes perceptions more powerfully than praise ever could. Despite this change, she returns to training the next morning exactly as before. She arrives early, trains alone, and pushes herself without supervision. This choice proves that recognition was never her goal. The external world finally caught up to who she already was, internally. Closes the story by affirming that discipline is a habit, not a reaction to reward. She does not rise because someone noticed her. Someone noticed her because she had already risen. The ending leaves the audience with a lasting impression. The most dangerous professionals are not those who demand attention, but those who prepare in silence and are ready when it matters most.